Hello, 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 beautiful rays of light. I am Nikei S Salas, your spiritual guide, well-being educator, holistic life coach, and inspiration giver. This channel is about finding more ways to live. We want to do more than this, y'all. We want to thrive. And how do we do that? By increasing well-being. We are doing things that help us better emotionally, mentally, and physically, and all is in the purpose of allowing our spirit to lead and to come forth, because the spirit always wants the best for us. When we allow the spirit to lead, we are able to have joy in our lives and live a more fulfilled life. So before I get into the video, if you have not subscribed, I invite you to subscribe so you can be notified of new videos, and always feel so free to share. So let's get into it. So today I would like to talk to you about what can we do with pain. There are different forms of pain, right? Physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, right? And they all affect each other. Emotional pain can, or our emotional health, right, can decrease or increase our mental health, vice versa. How we are feeling emotionally and mentally can definitely play a big role in our physical health. Actually, unfortunately, one of the biggest reasons, or one of the main reasons, many may have different kinds of ailments or diseases, just in different forms, it comes from stress. And that is what we have going on in here, right? So we want to learn how to calm that down. We want to learn how to be in better control of those emotions so it can help the mind, it can help the body, and again, allow that spirit to flow. Allow that spirit to lead, y'all. So when we are dealing with emotional pain, or if, also you want to include mental pain, and I'm talking about these different stressful events, though there are different types of stress, right? You have the stress that's more beneficial for you, to get your heart rate up, to get your respirations up sometimes when we are running or we're exercising, right? We are helping it to improve our circulation and things like that. But then we also have the stress that is not so beneficial, y'all. We don't want consistency in that. And that is, I got stuck by a train. My coworker, and different things like that. No, that's why we want to better control those emotions, you all, so we can calm that mind down, calm that body down. Again, it is about helping all the parts of the self so we can have a beautiful symbiotic relationship, be in harmony of ourself, right? It is my belief, it is my knowing, when we are dealing with these different events, I like to say, or call it flip it, right? So if you get stuck at a train or, heavy situations, it's okay. What would the opposite in a better way look like? So, and I give an example. Last week, I was on my way somewhere and I was going to get on this highway, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be there in 30 minutes. Well, it didn't work out that way. And yes, I could have got mad about it, and at first I was like, oh my God, I was like, oh, so I'm not going to go this way, so now I got to go another route. But it was actually such a blessing to go another route, because I found a place that I wanted to go eat at later. And that's when I talk about flipping. And instead of, us being like, oh my God, or this messed up situation, or whatever you want to call it, is happening, allow yourself. I encourage you to see it in a different way. And why? Again, because we want better emotional health. That helps us mentally, it helps us physically, and again, the spirit loves that, right? When we are in this state of being like, riled up, we are consistently, like lighting our bodies on fire, because that's what stress does, right? You know, again, we have the good stress and the stress that's more beneficial. I like to say that. And then the stress that's not so beneficial, especially if it's consistently, you know, ran through our bodies. And when we keep feeling this, we are consistently overworking our bodies, we just get tired. And that's why sometimes we may not have energy, and we may have these feelings of lower emotions, whether it be depression and so forth, is because we are overworking our body. I tell you this, each stressful event that we go through, you all, is the equivalent of hours of sleep that we need. So just imagine if you keep allowing yourself to feel that, and just in one day, and then the next day you do it over and over again. So again, I want to go back to flipping it. You know, in my book, my first book, Black Girl Gone Guru, I talked about different things I went through, but I did not want to focus in on what was the considered bad circumstances. I wanted it to be a book. I wanted it to be an inspiration. I wanted it to tell the story of how these things happen over here, but then it allowed me and it helped usher me over to this over here, which was for my good. Which, if we choose to think of things that way, again, you know, riled up event, oh. But how about sometimes saying, hey, this is working out for the best of me? You know, like I said, I was trying to go somewhere last week, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get on this expressway, this highway, I'm going to get there in 30 minutes. And then it didn't happen. Then because of it not happening, I was able to find a place that I wanted to eat at. And if we try or we allow ourselves to be in that state, you all, which is, it helps us to be more in harmony within ourselves. Again, mind, emotions, body, and the spirit loves that. Your body it's like it radiates. It puts that message out there. It literally does, because everything is energy, right? We already know that. And you yourself are putting out messages. How we think, the things that we talk of, how we move through our lives is constantly you all sending messages out constantly. So again, in my book, Black Girl Gone Guru, I wanted it to be a message of inspiration instead of just putting these supposedly bad circumstances, which they were not, because they helped me to my good, and I would not do it any other way. If I had to do it all over again, I surely would. Yes, sign me up for it. But of course, when we going through the stuff, sometimes we're like, oh my God, you know, what is going on? This is so messed up. But how about we like, oh, okay, I don't like what's going on, but I'm believing, I'm knowing that this is working in my good. This is working in my good. Again, being aware of what's going on in your life, right? But it doesn't have, everything does not have to be like it's going to end us. Because if, again, we are thinking of how something can help us, we can send that message out and push that message out, right? You know, there is a law, a scientific law called the law of conservation of energy. In this law, it states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, you all. It can only be transferred. Only be transferred. And this is why, or this is what helps in my knowing that everything is connected. We are all part of the one. This might be one, but you're connected to my one. I'm connected to your one. We're connected to everything. And that we are cycling through this, even this earth. We are cycling through this earth, but we're cycling amongst each other. We are cycling through this beautiful, vast universe, right? And that is why, again, when you know that you are a messenger, because we all are messengers, right? That yes, we're energy, but if you want to or you choose to see yourself that, hey, every time I move throughout this world, move around people, I am sending messages out. And that includes the, this, messed up, messed up, messed up. How about, again, if we want to flip it, and using the law of conservation of energy, we say, okay, this is what's going on, but I choose to look at it this way. Better yet, this is what I'm choosing to do with it. I give you an example. Pain, right? Pain is an indicator of something that needs to change, that needs to shift. So if Jane Doe is jogging and Jane Doe feels a sharp pain up her right side, you know, I know sometimes we say, push through the pain, push through the pain. Well, it depends. I do believe that we should feel that pain for a moment so we can understand it, so we can be aware of it, and then we need to talk of or be of what we're going to do with it. So Jane Doe again is running. Ooh, sharp pain up the right. So Jane Doe, option A, can be like, no, I'm just going to push through the pain, push through the pain. Okay, you know, and I wish the best for her in that, right? Or Jane Doe can be, option B, can be like, okay, I'm feeling sharp pain. What is going on? Instead of just be like, this is messed up. Ask yourself, put that message out there, because you, the one, spirit, mind, body, emotions, is always you all having a conversation with each other. And the spirit always want to talk to you and tell you what's going on. If you listen, I swear, if you just take time to listen and learn their voice and understand when you go through these different feelings that you will have, you'll be like, oh, okay, I asked this question, I put this question out there into the universe some time ago. And that time could be, whether it be a minute, 10 minutes, a day, a year, because time is what we as humans came up with, right? And time may be different for everybody. So she, she puts this out there, like, oh, okay, I'm feeling this sharp right, this pain to the right. I wonder what's going on with that. So say she goes for a run, a jog, the next day, and she has a sharp pain up her right again. Like, okay, I noticed that when I wore these type of shoes yesterday, I was having a pain. Wearing these shoes today, okay. How about, the next time I go running, that I wear a different pair of shoes? And she's not feeling the sharp pain. Like, oh, okay. All right. Again, the pain, and that's just one example, right? And it could be an example of many, but I'm just want to put out there of how important it is to feel the pain for a little bit. We don't want it to go on too long, right? Because this causes the non-beneficial stress, because the stress of running is enough, right, for her, because it helps her, with her heart rate, increase the heart rate and everything to help, with exercise and so forth. And it helps, with circulation, but we don't want the stress all the time of, putting all that stress on your body, inflammation. We know what inflammation causes. Inflammation can be detrimental. It is the root cause of many diseases. So again, the pain is an indicator of something needs to shift. Going back to the law of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. So that's exactly what Jane did. She changed it. She switched it. She shifted the energy. That's what we must do. I encourage you all to do when you are going through different kinds of emotional events. And I'm talking about the events that keep us down or keep us at a level of heightened stress, right? And again, we already know what that causes. When we choose to, instead of just being stuck in it, we say, okay, this may be the issue, but let me look towards the solution, or let me look towards what can come from this, right? Again, like I told you, different situations that I spoke of in Black Girl Gone Guru, at the beginning, and when I was going through it, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my God, what am I going through? And then when I was on the other side, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like the law of conservation of energy again, right? It shifted, it changed. This was created over here, this supposedly bad circumstance, but then it formed, it shaped, it shifted into this good circumstance over here. Yes. You know, when we choose to look to an opportunity, look at a situation or an issue as an opportunity, just like with Jane. She's like, oh, okay, well, you know, let me wear the other gym shoes. Oh, this feels a lot better. Now she's able to run better, run faster. When we look to how we can benefit from the supposedly bad situation or bad issue, and I don't mean like benefit in, oh, this is all about me, and I'm not just talking about, you know, of course, only material things, but I'm talking about what we can gain, those life lessons, right? Because if anything that can be given to us that cannot be taken away, cannot be given to nobody else, no matter how much you try to talk to somebody about it and tell them about it over and over again, it's yours. It's yours. And again, with my knowing now that, hey, okay, this is going on, but how can this work into my good? Or I just say, oh God, you trying to teach me something, aren't you? Oh God, yes. I know there's a lesson in this. And we can choose to see it as it not being for our bad, that yes, that things are working for our good. So that's it, you all. I just wish that you choose whatever situations you go through, emotional, physical. And I know it's not easy all the time. I'm not going to sit up here and proclaim that it is, right? But again, about cycles, you know, just taking that step, of course, in your own time, right? Putting that step out there, putting that question out there, instruction out there into the universe, instruction to your body, say, hey, this is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling about this emotional event, mental event, but I want to be better. I want to be better. And allow the lessons to come to you. Allow the process of what you're going through to see it as a benefit for you. You know, again, the situation I've been through, situations that I've been through, you know, early on in life. And not saying I'm not going to go through other situations, but it's like, now when I think back, I look back, I'll be like, wow, I went through a lot of stuff. And that's why, you know, I laugh because, you know, people say to me, I got my positive t-shirt on. This is the reason why I wore it, because I was thinking about something that someone said to me recently. And they said, it's like, well, how can you be so positive? Well, it's not about me being positive all the time. It's really not what that's about. It's just that it's a choice, right? It's just, because I've been through so much, it has brought me just to a different understanding of how life works or how life should work for me, right? Again, I could have allowed all those things I went through emotionally, physically, mentally, to just stop me dead in my tracks, which some of them did for a while. And I had to pull myself out of these different things. But then it had to be a switch, right? I had to turn that switch on, like, okay, I'm in this darkness where it's the light. Oh, here's the light. Oh, I like the light. I want more of it. And I just, again, when I think back, I remember how that felt. And it wasn't good feelings, right? Though they were good lessons, but again, like we were saying, we want to be well, right? And when we are consistently going through these situations, it's like, and we're allowing our body to be stressed out, because that's exactly what happens, right? When we keep allowing these things to hinder us emotionally, mentally, it starts to hinder us physically. It can make us stuck. And then over time, the years, when I came to realization, and one time I was sitting on my bed, and I talk about this in Black Girl Gone Guru, but I was like, I don't want to be this no more. I don't want to do this no more. Not about going through situations, because we're going to go through situations to get life lessons, but being just, allowing myself to be down, or to allow myself to beat myself down because of situations. But again, they worked out for the best of me. And this is why I'm saying this to you all. Things can be better. Things can be better. And again, I don't know what other situations are. I'm not trying to dismiss nobody's situations at all. But I encourage you to see whatever issue that you're going through and ask yourself. And if you are believing in something higher than yourself, or outside of yourself, though everything is part of the one, put that question out there as well. What can I do to help this situation be better? Because I can't, this is created, but I want it to morph into this over here. And I believe, and I speak from my own experience, right? From my own knowing, that the answer will come. Yes. So I wish you all well. Again, I am Nikei S Salas, your spiritual guide, your holistic life coach, and well-being educator. Until the next time, I wish you all well. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.